Oop. Our earth is our mother, right? As I, enjoy my prayer night. So I brought my wife up into that, you know, St. John Lutheran Church down there where it's got the earth door. Right, but I'm over here praying on that has been horribly crucified and murdered, right? So we can have transit, okay? Transit Lutherans, right? And I'm like, this is a good time to really talk about it, right? So, because my best friend is Mother Mary, which is Mother Mary of God. So, good luck. I'm just saying, right? Might seem like I'm just this little nut that goes around praying, for our army. Because again, we have to remember somehow we have Space Force here, right? Space Force. Okay, that does not represent our military at all. Let's just be very honest. Even though it says honor and gratitude and thank you, veterans. Really? Then why are you murdering them? You can't even see it, right? So, but that's what God wants to know. So, as I was down there in that earth portal hole that has a door, right? We have to remember our Air Force became Nino's Park Ridge. It's the Renaissance, right? Because that's what this represents. It has nothing to do, I'm telling you right now, this is not our army who gets to bring in this stuff. So, and I know this because, like I said, we're like at a bridge, a connector between Jesu, right, and Jesus. Right, because we got to understand, like, this way is Jesus and the door. Right, but if we go this way, right, here is Van Dyke, here is 27 Mile, in between this bridge where we have our memorial, owned by the Renaissance. Okay, 2000 Librendo. Okay, again, add up the dates. 2001, they came over there to Ring Around the Rosie, and it's literally Ring Around the Rosie. If you go to the memorial over there, that's in front of the woman's memorial. I go there to pray in there. That's where hopefully my 3 crosses are still there. You never know. They like to throw prayers away, crosses, because again, us military. This doesn't represent military. This represents, again, you see that bar over there? That's what it represents. Not to mention, all the veterans and wives, or anybody who decides to come here, our thank you is walk your ass across the street. Don't matter if I got my Mary Magdalene boots on. Bitches, you don't know what woman you murdered. Okay, because again, I would take that damn star and shove it so far up your asses, you wouldn't even know what the fuck had coming to your asses. You don't raped enough boys here. So again, that's what that star represents right there, next to our cross. And you know why? Let me just explain it to you. They had the Lutherans and their corporations had quite the fucking hackle game going on, right? And so, of course, Hackle's been here, publicizing, right? So, but let's look at this. In memory of, no, it's not, it doesn't have the Luther name on it. Right here. Right there. Our Redeemer Lutheran Church. Again, I denounce you, Satan. You do not have a right to bring they're bringing their GAD God here. So, and that means the Abraham God, the Abba God. Right? And I'm just trying to understand, like, what the fuck does that mean for the earth children, right? Because you got to remember, this land is Chippewa. So this land belonged to the natives. So again, like I keep telling you, Antichrist over there, you businesses here, you think you are very, very tricky, right? You think, again, you've been building this up. But you have to remember, all these companies stole from Lake Huron. So, and again, there's going to be consequences to that. You don't just get to draw out thousands and thousands and thousands. You're talking about mass, no regulation whatsoever. Thanks to our governor, who decides what? Same thing, John James. Because this represents not only John James, but it also represents Benson. That's why I'm like, we don't have a vote here. So, again, John James is supposed to be communicating with our president. That's Mr. President Trump, right? He's not aware of this. No way did he stand behind these fucking knickers. Okay, they're all in the trucks. They're all up in the mining. All you have to do, and again, They are in our Jesus. They killed our Jesus. They're stabbing him. They're slicing his mother up. We don't even get Mother Mary. We don't get Mary Magdalene, right? We don't get, where you at, baby? We don't get none of that. Why? Well, because again, our fathers here are like, Mary Magdalene is a prostitute. Jesus was never worthy of any kind of human love, right? So again, I'm like, this is their language that they brought here, right? But again, if you go to St. George, right, they came in 2006, right? You would see that again, these are the ones who own our Sunshine gas station, our Puff Daddies. Right. So again, they put all kind of dispensaries out here. None in Clinton, none in Sterling Heights, none in Shelby. Why is that? Right. Well, because again, I can just answer to you. They love the Davids. See, you have Islam and you have Jews. So, and that's what these bridges represent. When we're talking about the blue bridge, right, that represents again, Jews. When we're talking about the new bridge, right? So that new bridge represents the Jews. Okay, when we're talking about the old bridge, right? So, and I call the blue bridge the old bridge because it is old, but it got rebranded by the Jews, right? During COVID, like again, their memorial, they went in and they connected it to Alabama. So again, while they're creating their memorials, right here. Well, okay, so again, where is Space Force at? Because I went and did some homework on it. Because, like I said, down this way is the Octagon House, where you had the Dare, where you had the Dare sisters. You have our military that travel through. It's important, right? Because, again, they are taking our heritage, our real, true heritage, and then, again, they're adding Abraham and Star David, right? So, again, they put their star in our town. Right after they mark our military, and we have thousands because of this right here, and that right there you will find on Macomb College. So you will also find again this right here on Trinity, right? So if you go down there, and you little Renaissance motherfuckers, you done killed thousands of our soldiers so they can bring in colonizers. Like, why would you put a memorial mixed in with apartments that have nothing to do with veterans? Huh? So again, this is you have to walk to it. So see, that's the con that Governor Whitmore and our future governors put us under, right? And it's been milking away since Rick Snyder. So, and again, they love space, right? They love the Japanese because, even the Japanese believe in the star, right? Because they're fucking aliens and they think they're going to go to fucking alien heaven, right? But again, you know what happens? Because this is Chippewa. So no matter what kind of crazy shit you niggers bring here, at the end of the day, you die in our earth, and guess who's waiting for you? The Chippewas, the Mohawks, the Iroquois, the Cheyennes, right? Do I need to keep on going? Right, because they're like, you decided with the French, right? You might have came in way afterthought, but again, just like the French, they decided to come in here at Michigan University. So you see Michigan down there, down in Romeo and the historic, but they brag about it. So again, these universities who've been murdering our veterans, okay? You can't keep building memorials and saying they're for our veterans when you know damn well it's for Star David. Right? That's for Israel, right? So we had this combination of 1979 Islamic Ninos, right? Who is connected to Trinity, right? They're down there with Trinity out in Plymouth, right? So, because again, where does that go to? Well, that goes to Benson, Macomb Mall area, the Madison, right? And then it goes over there to, and they're using Kennedy over there too. They're using Kennedy here too. So either Kennedy is involved with poisoning our veterans, poisoning our children, our elders, murdering them. That's what our health hospitals like to do now. Because we have to remember GM and Ford, that $35 million deal. $35 million deal brings, again, Star David, Right, and then it's not even the Jew Star David. That's what's really messed up. You have to understand when it comes to Michigan, and Texas, and California, and Florida, and Houston. I mean Texas. That's in Texas. So it's the keys four states. Florida, Texas, California. You know, I understand that Space Force is over there and other states in between. But when I talk about these states, it's because these governors are all connected with each other. They love to bring in, Star David people, right? And so, and when I learned about Star David, and I'm just confused by it, right? Because when you go down to 27 Mile and then you hit up Romeo Plank, which is going to take you to Waldenburg, right? Because we have to remember Nike was this way. So when we go back to the Cold War, that was this way. And so it's not in the town, it's like on the outside, where Ford, not where his plant is on 32 and Van Dyke, it's over there out in the fields where they used to do a lot of the testing and stuff. And they already have a business deal going on between these horrible ass colonizing fucking Jews that love alcohol. They just love to poison our veterans, our children. I'm just sick of it. There's so many children who get raped because, again, these businesses, and that includes Myers and Walmart's, the same ones data collecting our eyeballs, right? Just how it goes here. So I'm like, you won't know about it because we live in fucking La La Land. They've been poisoning our water. So we live in a 200-year-old system. Everybody's drinking that water and dying. Meanwhile, again, Space Force over here came in during COVID, right, and bought out Lake Huron. And this did include Saudi Arabia. This is where I say it gets really twisted, right, because we know Saudi Arabia is Islamic. So we know that these countries like Pakistan is Islamic. So that's what I'm saying. When you're talking about the old Amsterdam Bridge down there in Detroit, that's where you're connecting in with the Islamics. Because, again, they might say they're Christians, right? But no, they're connected to the Jordans, and then you're looking at the fire hydrants and the underground infrastructure that they put in here many decades ago. It's going back down there to where the arbitrarium is in Dearborn, but it's not over where the town of Dearborn is. It's over there, where the fort is. So again, they plan on rebirthing this whole thing, right? This is how it works with Ford. Ford has been able since Hitler, right? You have to remember, Ford joined Hitler back in the day. Right. So again, when they brought these churches over here, like there's so many countries who had to pay for deciding to do deals, like over there, the USSO by Russia. Like, there's so many that had to pay because of doing deals with Hitler. But nobody talks about how Ford did deals with Hitler. Right. So again, with that Jew Hitler-ass colonizers who got to come over here. So you have that mixture, and that is a lot in our old people. So you got, and I know that because, like I said, my brother Steven Snyder, again, he was part of that blood. Then you're talking about the Aryan Patriot, right? Very deep, insidious blood. They don't care about Jesus. Right. That's why I say I'm here with Mother Mary, Mother of God, because in the midst of all this death, right, people are not getting their chains to heaven because they have their own little bubbles going on here. Just like these Lutherans. Now, this reindeer Lutherans, I just said, they're over here. So they go towards the way of that Baptist church down there. And like I said, that Baptist church goes back to the 1700s. And this is Vincent Joe's. Vincent Joe's is down here too, next to Palazzo. So, and again, where do I see Palazzo? All over in the Assumption Grotto down there on 6 Mile. And we already know the Chaldeans who do believe in Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. Right. Again, these colonizers over here who are like the chosen children, right? They're going to Gaza. So again, they are the chosen ones to be the true Jews, right? That's what we have here. We have people who have been hiding out in our churches for decades just so they can murder the Palestinians. Right. Just so they can murder the Jews, so that they can murder, every one of God's children because they want to create another Bible. right? You know, remember, there's always these Bibles they're creating, and this Bible happens to pop out Abraham and David, right? Because if you go down there, and you don't even have to go down there, you just look on their website at that church down there, you would see like they talk about this bubbles, right? That they're going to be putting us in these bubbles of 7 years. So I don't know if he practices that when he's talking about that, or if he is just like practicing something else. I was listening to him, but then I found that message is theirs in their writing, right? Because you have to remember, they are creating their own world in space. See that? So while we're over here dying, being poisoned, right? Again, these colonizing, and this is not Space Force, by the way. Like I said, this is Park Ridge. This is Nino's. This is Governor Whitmore proving these damn deals with Mark Hackle. Because again, Macomb County grew because of 9/11. These people would have never colonized over here if we weren't attacked by 9/11. So what happens with the 9/11 people? Huh? What happens to them? Oh, they don't even get their benefits anymore, right? So what does it matter? Let's look like they don't give a shit. They're like, just go pray all you want, bitch. So again, these fathers here seem to have a right to be able, our governor seem to have a right to be able to steal someone's connection to heaven. Like, you already murdered them. You poison them with your fucking alcohol. So again, alcohol and drugs. And you know where this follows? You just go all the way down to Van Dyke. And then when you get to Utica, you get down on your knees and you pray to Mother of God. Because Puff Daddy's over there. Puff Daddy's, I call it, because if he ain't selling ethanol alcohol, he's selling fentanyl in his damn cannabis stores. Again, they get away with it. Like, he told me to my face in 24. This is before Trump got elected in, right? He told me, the manager, because I'm like, you don't even have it you don't even have it listed. You don't have it labeled, right? So again, this could cause people to go on remission, right? There's plenty of alcoholics who take cannabis for medicine, for their ailments and stuff, but they're an alcoholic, so they don't want to take alcohol, right? No, we have dispensaries here because, again, that's what kind of Davids we get, just so we know. We get the Islam kind. They teach their breeding-ass colony families, don't touch alcohol, but then they sit there and supply all the businesses for the alcohol, the vape pens, the tobacco, the salt. Again, these guys are killers. You go in there, you're like, oh, I'm going to have a great dinner, I'm going to have me some shrimp, and I'm going to have me a steak, and I'm going to have me some, fried potatoes. Okay. And again, you over here have hypertension, and you're 500 pounds. You're 2, 3, 4, whatever. You're overweight. Again, you get to kill everybody who decides to be healthy like me, you know what I'm saying, who has heart attacks, not because I'm eating salt, right? So again, you choose to go up in these restaurants, no regulations. Again, this is how they kill you, right? So we know salt kills. That's what I said. Salt is a sin. They decided to take all that salt and put it all over the Holy Land. So again, just like the Jordan River, 90% dried up, right? But somehow we're over here stuck in America, bending neck and over, to allow Jerusalem for all, because that's what David is. Right, but you have to remember, David joined Saudi Arabia. So David joined Pakistan. So again, when we're talking about a memorial over here that's supposed to represent our USA veterans, I'm not over there in nigger countries, right? Utopias, you nasty bitches. Again, they believe in murdering Mother of God. They want to get to that heartbeat into the earth. So that's why they are robbers of the earth. That's why they love to drill in the ground, right? They call it decarbonizing our father sky, just so they can rape the fucking hell out of our Mother Earth. So why do you think you're doing us a favor? Exxon, Marathon, Mobil, and it goes all the way to our water supply. Like I said, these businesses here, all the way over here, you got all these massive ass factories. How many of you bitches are sucking off the Lake Huron, while the rest of us fools have to drink Detroit River? Again, crickets. This is what our governor allows. And again, she just keeps taking these millions of dollars in. And these millions of dollars are not bringing us millions of dollars. They're robbing us. Like I said, they're not bringing us anything. They're robbing our underground. That's what they get to do. Rob our underground. So, it's just, I have to be just, I tell Jesus, it's like it's a lost cause. It really is a lost cause here, because at the end of the day, you can't stop Zionists. You can't stop Zionism. You can't stop people who feel that they are the king. Yeah, like they are like the problem with these churches, that they are so caught up in the investments, because again, their churches are empty. Right, it's all about this. That's the only way you can survive, if you can attach yourself onto donors. So again, the same thing with our elections, right? What gets to happen? Let me take you cold. What gets to happen with our elections? Okay, the same thing. It's all about these donors. But then these donors are buying out our children. They're buying out our mothers, right? Because you have to remember, David once believed Mother Mary is a virgin. She's a virgin. Even though they're colonizers who are going back to Gaza, right? They came from Iraq, okay? They came from Syria. They came from Lebanon. They came from Jordan, right? But they're going back. So as we have these conversations over here, like, Trump is the one who put us in this war with Iran. No. Okay, it is our governor who decided, because she decided during COVID, we get to allow these colonizers to shut with their fucking fathers, the witch ones, the ones that don't even believe in the man of God. Okay, they don't believe in the man of God. In order to be a man of God, you got to believe in a wife. Again, they don't believe in that either. So again, they keep us in this dinosaur era, right? While their colonizers here get to have Mother Mary, so they get to have that concept. And you need to have those in your words, because that way it's in your soul. Right? You don't know what's going to happen to your body here. So you need to understand that your body and your soul rises to heaven. So again, obviously it's going to leave your body, your bones and stuff, right? But you have to put it into your prayer, into your soul, to your spirit, right? See, I got my armor. I got another one. It might be just jewelry, but there's a special, I'm going to take you over there, a special unique way to put energy. Right, and I love that store. So it's a Christian store across the street. So I've used it for this place over and over to add prayers. So to add prayers I'm praying for Abraham Lincoln. Washington just went out there now too, right? Because like I said, this doesn't represent anything with our military. We do not have to do a database contract out here. We don't have to bring this database out here. We could be, and on top of it, we don't have to be doing tanks. So again, while these traitors here, that's the Hackle, also known as, again, the Hackle rapist, because his daddy was a rapist. But the little junior doesn't fall far from the damn diseased apple tree, I promise you. So again, well, he doesn't care what happens to children. Children are being victimized. So they're being raped. They're being victimized. They purposely mark these children because, again, they're the spirit. They know that. We're a bunch of stupid-ass Christians over here. They allow the fucking niggers to do this. So, again, I stand alone. I'm always going to stand alone. These bitches believe in their own communist stories, right? So, and again, I told you, I'm a shadow worker. So, no matter what, I'm always going to be working for Trump. So, I just need to get the fuck out of damn America because, again, I can't be part of this. So, at the end of the day, this will never, ever, it just irks me too. Because I'm praying, but then I see that damn star over there, and I'm just thinking, I can't believe they put that fucking star there. They put this star, you guys remember, I'm reading their lands that Mid-America, Midstream created, which is Enbridge, by the way. So again, when we think about Enbridge and Mackinac, that's going on, it's just I tell birds, this is what I tell them. You can't even see it. I know, I'm going to take you inside to the car. Let's see. I tell the Thunderbirds, right, with the Navy, listen, we don't have many options left. right? So listen, only you can save the Great Lakes. Do you hear me? Only you can save the Great Lakes, Thunderbirds. You know, again, we now represent Japanese, right? Bunch of witches who believe in aliens. Okay, they are the ones who are slicing Mother Mary palms. You see my palm? It has an M. See my palm over here? It has an M, right? See? Because I was the polar bear mom. They killed me. So, again, this is what they get to do. And no matter how much I shield myself, it doesn't end, right? Because, again, they have their language. And, again, it has to do with David. And so, and then Israel has put his fucking vomit everywhere. Like, why would they? And now they can mix the military with David, right? And I'm like, no. Because, again, this doesn't even represent Jesus at all. It doesn't represent Israel. So, you know, this represents the dominance of the Islamic countries, right, that are going to attack Israel. Like, Israel doesn't stand a chance, just so we know. The Islamic countries have inbred with the fathers. So they have inbred with our Christianity. This allows them to be able to have, see, they're down there. You know what I'm saying? They're, again, yeah, they're the ones with the fingers. They love their fingers, right? So, and then me and my Mary Magdalene boots in our prayer to take authority. Oh, God, Lucy. Let me take you to the car, sweetie. I'm going to take you to the car because this looks like it's going to rain, too. I was going to bring a flag over here. And it went out. It's so windy. It's alright. I'm going to take them. And I'm going to start them here. And I take them home. To my 8 house. And then I can finish the prayers. Right? Because... oh, I denounce you, Satan. In the name of Jesus, I take authority and I bind all powers and forces in the air, in the ground, in the water, in the underground, in the netherworld, and in nature and in fire. You are the Lord over the entire universe. I give you the glory for your creation. In your name, I bind all demonic forces that have come against us and our families, and I seal all of us in your protection of your precious blood that was shed on the cross for love. For Passover. It's not for you guys to continue being sinners, drugging us with your alcohol, drugging us with your damn drugs, right? So again, all coming from Syria. You know, they want to keep saying it's Venezuela. Bullshit! Syria. Okay? Right through the... Mary, Mother of God. Mary, Mother of God, we seek your protection and intercession with the Sacred Heart of Jesus for us and our families, and surround us with your mantle of love to discourage the enemy. Saint Michael and our guardian angels, come defend us and our families in the battle against all evil ones that roam the earth. In the name of Jesus, Jesu, I bind all and combine all powers and forces of evil to depart right now from us, out of Washington right now, out of our churches, out of our chastity of our children, you know, as our chains to Mother Mary, right? Why in the hell don't we get heaven? We're not killers like you. You're the one over here killing, David. Get it right, Star David. You're the killer right along with Abraham. So again, you guys are Abbas. All these A for, you know, assassination. So that's what you guys like to do. You like to assassinate Jesus. Oh my God. It's starting to rain. It's crying. I know, Mother. Come on, baby. We gotta go inside because it's crying. God is crying. keep choosing. Are you eating the grass, my love? She's like, I'm going to eat the... You that hungry to eat the grass? Huh? She's like, oh, this grass tastes good. You going to eat the grass, baby? Come here. Let me get you up in here. Come on. Come here, my lovey bugs. Oh, Jesus.